I measured nothing and it still came out good. Cook dinner with me. I'm starting off with semi-frozen meat. This is 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm gonna add garlic, salt, pepper, onion powder. I'm also gonna add some smoked paprika into the mix. And I have this taco seasoning that I found in my pantry and I'm going to use it. So I post videos on different types of platforms and I have a compilation of these videos from time to time. Here I'm using this frozen vegetable mix that I got from Costco. This is the format that I use on other social media platforms, and a lot of you don't follow me in other areas and you may have missed some of the things that I cook. So this is what this video is. So I roasted sweet potato, which I love to combine with taco seasoned ground meat. This combination is so good. So I'm gonna cut this baked sweet potato open and add my taco ground meat hash is what it is. And this is dinner. It's so good. And I measured nothing. So next up is a salad I made twice this week. It is so good. I love sugar snap peas.
Sugar snap peas, these are actually trimmed and cleaned, but you'll want to remove the stringy bit, like snap one in and kind of like remove the stringy bit on the end, but this one's cleaned. Let's make a vinaigrette. Dijon mustard, pinch of salt, lemon juice, a glug of olive oil, couple tablespoons. I'm adding champagne vinegar. Use red wine vinegar, tablespoon maybe. Yeah, that'll work. Another pinch of salt, cracked black pepper. Shake. I almost forgot fresh garlic. Shake again. So my fresh sugar snap peas going in. Onion, fresh jalapeno, fresh radish. Here I have, corn. Give it a mix, give it a toss. I'm also going to add 1 cucumber. And the rest of the vinaigrette. Another good toss. I'm gonna add some queso fresco. This is like a Mexican style fresh farmer's cheese. I'll say that's optional. I like it. Extra cracked black pepper. Taste it for seasoning and salt and enjoy. So I've been adding salmon. This is smoked salmon already cooked right on top. This is my summer salad that I have already made twice in a week because it's that good.
So tomorrow we're going on a road trip and I want to make some ensalada de pollo. This is a Mexican style chicken salad I grew up eating. So I'm working with 3 chicken breasts that I cooked. I seasoned with chicken bouillon powder, cooked it in the slow cooker. Now I'm going to shred that up in this bowl. I'm also going to use mayo, a can of veggies, Maggi seasoning, cracked black pepper, some pickled jalapenos, carrots, and the juice. I've got my shredded chicken. I'm going to maybe add like a 1/3 cup to a 1/2 cup of mayo. I'm going to add some Maggi seasoning, cracked black pepper, the brining liquid of the pickled jalapeno and carrots. Give that a mix. Now I'm going to add the veggies. Give that a mix. I'm going to add some dehydrated minced onion. That's optional. I have it. I'm using it. So give that a really good mix. Taste things. Adjust it. I'm also going to add the jalapenos and carrots into the mix. Combine well. And now what I'm going to do is just place this in a container, cover it, place it in the fridge, and in the morning, it's going in my packed lunch. Here I have some other goodies, some trail mix that I made. I have some popcorn, choco pies. I also added forks, napkins, some oranges, some more trail mix. I have crackers for the chicken salad, and we're ready to go. Today I'm showing you another favorite bagel sandwich. I'm starting with tuna. So I'm going to add a drained can of tuna into a bowl. It's like 5-ounce can. Break that apart. And at this point, if you're making this, add what you want to your tuna. I'm going to go in with some mayo, eyeballing it. Here I have some Dijon mustard. I'm going to add some Maggi sauce, pepper, paprika. Just give it a good mix. You could add celery, onion into the mix. It all works. Okay, I'm slicing up some tomatoes because it's going on my sandwich. Some cucumber because I love cucumber on any sandwich. Yum. I'm also going to chop up some lettuce, toasted everything bagel. And now it's time to build the sandwich. And toppings are up to you. I just love using everything bagel rolls for sandwich bread. That's just my jam. So I'm going to add all of the tuna. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm adding all of it because I like it. The lettuce and some pickled jalapenos. This is it. Okay, just kidding. You got to top it. It's a sandwich. Okay. So for quality control, I'm going to take a couple bites, but this is actually my son's sandwich. So here we go. I love this sandwich. Definitely top 5, top 3, maybe top 10 bagel sandwiches. It's so good. And then with a pickle, yes, this is it. This is where it's at. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I love crunchy things. So I'm making beef milanesa, and I'm starting with egg, flour, seasoning, and I'm going to season my thinly cut beef steak here and just pour over that egg flour mixture. And this will help to bind my crushed saltine crackers. It makes a very crunchy, crispy crust for these milanesa. I have a full recipe video. I will link in the description below if you want something like a little more detailed. But you flip this over and just press in the crackers, and then you're just gonna fry these up until they are cooked through. It does not take long because they are super thin. I'm starting with around 10 to 12 guajillo dried chilies, and I'm just going to remove the stem and the seeds. In a 6 to 8 quart slow cooker, 3 chicken breasts going in to just season with some chicken bouillon powder. I have some onion powder, garlic, salt, pepper mix, the dried chilies that I cleaned going right on top. Add 2 cups of water into the slow cooker, cover with the lid, and I am going to set this to high and slow cook for about 3.5 to 4 hours until everything is cooked through and softened. I need liquid that was left in the crock pot to just make my enchilada sauce. Here I have a half teaspoon of cumin. Here I have 2 cloves of garlic going in. Add just a pinch of salt. So into a preheated pan, maybe 5-10 minutes, coated, maybe not as much as I'm using some of the sauce to the preheat. And then you flip it over. So I'm going to pile on the chicken, use the edge of the pan, and repeat the process. So I finally got around to making that Chinese beauty soup. It's a dessert soup that's great for your skin. I'm starting off with tremella mushrooms or snow fungus. You have to soak these overnight along with peach gum, or this is actually peach resin. And you soak this minimum 6 to 10 hours. And this is what it looks like when it's soaked and softened. And you want to cut away from that fibrous center. And these are the peach gums, and you see how like gummy and gooey they are. Here I'm going to be using 10 jujubes, and I removed the seeds from the center, and this is the bag that I had already in my pantry. Here are lotus seeds, and the centers are removed. This is going to go in. I'm also using piloncillo as my sweetener. You could use sugar or rock sugar. Here I'm adding a cinnamon stick. I don't think that's traditional, but I wanted to add it. So in a pot, I've added the tremella mushrooms, the peach gum, and the cinnamon stick with 6 cups of water, and you let that simmer and boil for 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to add an apple, but I've seen pear in it, but I only had an apple. So it has been about an hour of simmer time. So now I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. And I want to show you, I rinsed the lotus seeds going in. Here I'm adding the jujubes and the diced apple and my sugar or my piloncillo. You'll want to sweeten to taste and use what you have. Regular sugar, I guess, works. Now I'm just going to give that a mix, and I'm going to let that simmer and boil for an additional 30 minutes. In all, about an hour and 30 of simmer time. I'm going to shut off the heat, and it's ready. I have to tell you, with that cinnamon stick, apple, and the piloncillo, it smells so good in my kitchen. So there are 2 ingredients that I did not add. That's goji berries and longan. If I can find that next time, I'll make it again, but it's so good. Here's another fixation of the day. Compliments of Haley Fernandez. So this past week or the last couple days, the egg white pancake recipe that she put out has kind of been going viral. Now, the concept of like a low carb pancake is not new, but I think the way she presented it. So I'm going to show you how I made these. I actually did something a little different for the structural integrity of these little pancakes, but you know, go check her out on social media, Haley Fernandez, and you've probably seen it already, but I'm digging in. I'm going to garnish my pancakes with frozen blueberries, so I'm going to let them set out to defrost before I use them. So in a blender cup, I'm adding around 1 cup of egg whites. Here I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon of pancake batter mix, a little bit of baking powder, like a half teaspoon, and just a small piece of banana. Now I'm going to shake in some ground cinnamon and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now a pinch of salt, and I'm going to puree and blend very well. Once it's blended, put it in a preheated pan with cooking oil, and then I like to cover with a lid to let it sort of cook and steam. And then once it looks like that, you'll give it a flip. And for some reason, the first pancake just does not work out well. But I flipped it, and by the second, you'll see that it kind of comes together a lot better. So I made 3. I'm going to cover with sugar-free syrup, and I have some left, so you get about 4 or maybe 5. Top it with blueberries, and this is breakfast. It's pretty good. So the texture of these is definitely crepe-like, but you know, it really is a good option if you just want a low-carb option, higher protein for pancakes. Look, in all honesty, a lot of people are like, does it taste like egg? Yes. Like 85% of this pancake, and I just threw that random percentage out there, by the way, but most of it is egg white, so it's going to be eggy. And if you just have a problem with eggs, because I have relatives that just don't like egg, then this is not the viral trend for you to try. It tastes like egg. I did add stuff to it so it tastes less like egg, but you know, again, if you are looking for low carb options or, you know, as part of your meal or diet, give it a try. So I'm making deviled eggs to take to a barbecue party, and they are so good. Well, I'm going to shut these off. They've been boiling for about 13 minutes. Shutting that off. And I know there's so many tips and tricks to getting a boiled egg to peel. So these all came out pretty good. But these two, come on, man. I'm going to cut these in half. I mean, at this point, do I really need to narrate what I'm doing here? So here, they're all in a bowl, and let me show you what I use to make the filling so good. Kewpie mayo, stone ground mustard, and paprika. It's just, so good. And I like to add a pinch of sugar. And it really is to taste. Just a little 1/8 of a teaspoon, some cracked black pepper, and a couple pinches of salt. And at this point, you know, start with small measurements, and then you'll want to start breaking up and creaming and combining the egg yolks with the mayo and stuff. And now add more if you want. I'm going to add some more mayo. This is what I'm looking for. Creamy, give it a taste for salt and seasoning, and adjust to your preference. So I'm just going to spoon this in, or you can cut like a baggie and pipe it into each egg white. Here it is. All of my deviled eggs. Well, they're not deviled yet. I'm going to sprinkle and garnish with paprika and take them to the barbecue. Here's my aunt. This is my tia. She threw it upside down on her plate, but it was good.